John's gonna start now.
Whatever.
That was a false, John. That was him. Gavel, look who comes in.
Call this school committee meeting September 25th, 2025 to order. Steph, will you lead in this pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
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 Here. So we'll start with the report of the school committee chair. So I'm going to try not to ramble, but I want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it a little bit in here, but I want to talk about buses and transportation. And just let everyone know, listen, everyone up here wants more buses. That's what we want, more buses. But we have to make a decision with the monies. And I think we're always going to go on the education side as far as the student and what's best for the education of the student. We'd love to add 3 buses. Where's the money come from? And if you know the school budget, 80% of our budget's salary. So that's where it would come from. So you just have to be cognizant of those things. And as far as when you see things on the agenda sometimes, and you're just like, why is this on the agenda or that? There's a lot of times where, by law, we're legally binded to have it on the agenda and to vote on things. So I would just say, be more curious, ask more questions. I see the same people here week after week. So it's open all the time. All our meetings are open. Again, we start budget when, Mr. Superintendent?
We'll start by November.
Yeah, so,
It's coming back up in a couple months.
what I'd say is get involved in the budget process early, and not when it's gonna be voted on. Because by then, the decisions have been made. So, that's all really I have, and I'd also like to turn it to anyone on the committee who has anything to add.
No, I'm good at this point. Thank you.
Yep, so,
Well, I will say one thing, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind. I still would like to see that crosswalk at Main Street and Pierce Memorial, get those flashing lights.
Oh, yeah.
I know I say it every week, but, you know, it's gonna be a big mess there one day, and, you know, we have the opportunity to get in front of it, so hopefully, if it's the state does the right thing. If it's the town does the right thing. We'll figure it out, but that's one of my big hopes, that we at least get that done.
Yep.
If kids do have to walk and ride their bikes or the scooters, whatever, that they get there safe and not have to worry about people not paying attention, looking at their phones and being, as they call it, late, when the fact is they left late. So, thank you, sir.
yeah, no, and as we said, we were founded in 1629. Our roads weren't made for what we have today for traffic in town. They're old horse roads who turned into streets, so we're doing our best. Next, I have the report of the superintendent.
All right, thank you. We've started to, as an administrative group, we've started doing our walkthroughs of schools. So this week, our first walkthrough was that of the middle school. So representatives from building administration from each building, along with the district admin, went through into classrooms just to get a feel for what's going on in the classrooms, what's going on in the building. So that happened on, was that yesterday? It seems like about a month ago. Today we had our tiered math academy walkthroughs. We got a grant thanks to Ms. Turbin. And so we're focusing on 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and maybe into 7th as far as a math focus. So we're working on that. So we went into those classrooms specifically today to get again, a baseline of where we are with the math instruction. So for me, it was actually a nice morning, because I got to go in and see math classrooms. I know that sounds unusual, but for me, that was a pleasure. It was the highlight of my day. Also, kind of a highlight, we have at the complex, next week is homecoming week, when I'm gonna send a newsletter out to the community. This will be part of the newsletter. The homecoming week, they're gonna have activities, a lot of the home games are gonna come, and then on Saturday, there's gonna be a celebration of the first 5 years. And that's gonna kick off at 10 o'clock. The community is welcome to come, get a tour of the building, and then we do have a couple of games being played at Sereno Stadium that day too. So it's a nice event. The homecoming dance is on Friday. There's a teacher appreciation football game. All the seniors on the football team and cheerleaders got to go to their favorite teacher, invite them to the game, so they'll start at the beginning of the game on the field with their senior, the teacher and the senior, as part of a teacher appreciation night. So that's a big deal. I know there's ice cream socials and other things for the middle school students. So it's a big deal. And the kids and the staff are really looking forward to it. So I did want to mention that before and you're invited to come on Saturday to the celebration. Again, I can't believe it's been 5.5 years since the building's been open. It seems like yesterday, but it happens quickly, and there are some people who haven't had a chance to come in and visit the building, so that'll be a big time, a good time. So that's what I have for a report today.
Excellent. And then we'll go to report of subcommittees. I'll start with Mr. Fisher and the Finance Subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Finance Subcommittee met yesterday as part of the project that the committee's been working on to bring all of our policies up into compliance. There were a number of policies that dealt with financial matters, about the paying of bills and so forth. So we looked at those policies. Each of them was drafted by the MASC, and it's kind of their boilerplate language to bring all policies up to speed. So what we hope to do is do a first reading of those at the first meeting in October, and hopefully get those voted through in October, just to bring these policies up to speed with the state standard.
Excellent. Any questions? Next, we'll have the report of the Transportation Subcommittee. The Transportation Subcommittee met yesterday, and we're looking at alternatives to some of the busing situations. We're still trying to get a feel for who's actually taking the bus, who's not taking the bus. But we have other options in place too. We're also looking at the T, getting S cards. So your student would get an S card from the school, and they'd pay a minimal fee to load the S card to get on the buses. We'll have a list of where the buses stop and things like that. We're also going to have at each school, we're going to have what we call transportation night, because I think all of us up here have had the same issue. My 4 kids couldn't be on a bus, so we carpooled with neighborhood people, right? So I think what we're going to try to do is get each school and each of the principals together and say, have a transportation night with the PTOs and bring parents in who are looking for rides to school and hook them up, right? It's like if you're living in the neighborhood and you don't know your neighbors, maybe it's a good time to meet your neighbors. Maybe it's a good time to have the conversation. Hey, I can drop the kids off. I can pick the kids up. We all did that. My wife, for the first 35 years of our marriage, the first 25 years of our marriage, had a van. She didn't want a van. She needed the van. And so that's what we did. And so I think we're also putting out a transportation survey that Mr. Hashem worked on with questions, and hopefully this will be a big step forward to kind of getting more kids to school and helping parents out in the process. So.
Mr. Chair, I got a few updates.
Yeah.
For you. I do have some of the statistics that you were looking for with the kids who are infrequently riding the bus. versus riding the bus all the time. I did have people put together a list of that. These are just the numbers of it. And I can make this clear. Anybody who wants to swing by and I can explain it to you. Right now, we're pretty close to capacity as far as people with bus passes. If everybody was to get on a bus, but not everybody is always getting on a bus. So that's something we have calls have been going out for the last couple of weeks to try to figure out if the kids were gonna be taking the bus or they were relinquishing it and when they would be taking the bus. You know, if they were doing it in inclement weather like today,
Yeah.
they certainly wouldn't be walking. So this is some of the statistics that you were looking for. The ones, and it's very difficult to read, I can explain it to anybody individually, but we have 3 buses. In the morning, we do 2 runs, like, and in case you see the bus half full, they do a run for the complex first, early on, because that's the building that's open first. They do a quick run before any other bus is en route, and then they pick up a second run and do the elementary schools. The unfortunate thing is, even though that's not at capacity in the morning, it would be if you put them both together. In the afternoon, the 3rd bus is at the capacity because they merge the runs.
Well, I think when you see a bus in the afternoon and you say, well, the bus isn't full, well, sometimes these students have after-school activities,
Well, the
sports and
enrichment,
things
for
like that.
example, has taken off. We have
Correct.
250 kids at the Belmonte taking the enrichment.
Yeah, so, and again, and I should have prefaced this when I first started, that these mandatory riders, the 2 mile from your house, isn't a Saugus thing. It's a state thing, it's a DESI thing. So we didn't come up arbitrarily with a number of 2 miles. That's DESI. So, and I think the other thing is, if you have a problem with the 2 mile thing, call the state, call DESI. It's not Saugus. Same thing with who gets on the bus. It's not Saugus, it's the state. So I would really, if you do have an issue with that, I'd contact the state before you come through us, because we're gonna tell you to contact the state, so.
All right, so also, the survey, I gave everybody a copy of the survey. This is something we went over at the Transportation Subcommittee. I have 10 questions that are, there are, hold on, 6 questions that are just to get a demographic of what, you know, who's replying to the survey. And then the next questions are, would you be willing to pay to get the second bus that we talked about, the $2,000 annually, or break it down to $5.50 a trip? Would they be interested in a bus pass? Would you be interested in taking in the MBTA, or do you take it? If you're at the complex, would you consider it if you're not already taking the bus? So I want you to, what I was gonna ask you to do is if you could look this over at if there's any wording that you want me to change, I'm planning to send this out in the community newsletter on Monday. So I want to, like, if there's something that's not clear, if you read it and you don't like how it reads, I will definitely make it more readable. I want to try to get as much information I can. So that's the survey, and as far as the MBTA bus passes, Saugus High is already registered with the MBTA, and the principal is going to be assigning somebody the role, and we can get the S cards.
Excellent.
So we're already registered, so that's something we can get up and running right away.
Yeah, and like I said, the transportation nights, if you are looking.
Yeah, we're gonna ask the PTOs if they could have like a night for.
At each
parents to-
school.
Yeah, at each school to see if the parents will come in, and one of the topics will be transportation, and if they can form a carpool with people they didn't know in the area, or walking groups, or however they wanna do that.
Yeah, someone lives around the corner, you don't know,
Yeah.
so it's good.
Mr.
So,
Chairman, can I ask
yeah.
a question? This is Superintendent.
Yeah, no problem.
So the BSA looks like they
Has the most non-riders.
have the most non-riders, correct?
Correct.
Morning and afternoon.
Correct.
I thought maybe the enrichment was the problem in the afternoon, but the difference is two students.
Right, nope.
So what do we know about that?
We're actually making calls. I asked, I'm gonna get you a list of responses from the calls, because some of them are saying they're currently walking, but they're not going to be walking for much longer because of the weather. And unfortunately, they're mandated riders, so they,
That's a tough situation. you
no,
know?
I absolutely,
Because
Yeah.
that's where we have the most need, correct? At the Belmonte? It's, the most requests for the rides?
I think so. The other need.
Yeah, it looks like it on here, the most requested is Belmonte.
No, these aren't requests.
No, I'm just looking for the riders.
No, these are, the non-riders are, if you look at the total students, those are the students that got the bus passes.
Correct.
Right.
The non-riders are students that have bus passes that aren't riding.
Correct.
Okay, so we don't necessarily know with the need, that's where the survey will gauge if they would be willing to or want to take a school bus. I think, I agree with Mr. Whitridge. I do think that the Belmonte is a high needs. I also think some at the complex that live
Correct.
well outside
Correct.
the 2 miles.
Yeah, all right, so right now, it's the 2 miles is what we're, so these parents from the Belmonte are saying that the kids are walking in the morning and walking home?
They're not taking the bus at this time. But
I was gonna say, they're not walking, I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, they're not walking.
They're probably driving. I don't see a lot of walkers.
Well, that's the problem I have, you know, you can't,
Yep.
you know, take a spot from kids and drive your kid to school, pick your kid
Yep.
up,
Yep.
and then on the day you don't feel like it, say, oh, well, you know, we got a bus pass, so you
Yeah.
can hop on the bus, you
Right.
know, it's,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
keep
that's
making
what-
those
that's what I
calls.
think we're
They've
doing
been
right
no,
making-
no, yeah, no, I'm not, I'm just saying in general.
Absolutely.
It irks me.
Yep, oh,
So moving on to new business, we're gonna take, it's not on the agenda, but we're gonna take the ski club. We're gonna take Jill, just your name and,
Yep, Jill Logier, how is everybody?
hi.
Hey,
I'm
Joe.
here just to get the school committee's approval for me to try and run the ski board club again this coming winter 26.
Yeah.
Need to know anything about it? This is my 4th year. We go to Pat's Peak in Henniker, New Hampshire. Last year, I think we had 95 kids enrolled, both middle and high school. The majority is middle school. Some kids come that have never been on skis ever, and they leave skiing from the summit down, so it's great. It's a great
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best programs we have in school.
Yeah, one of my
It's-
boys is in it, he loves it,
yeah,
loves
she's
it,
coming
so.
before you, Mr. Chair, because it's a New Hampshire trip, so you.
Yeah,
it's-
no, absolutely, and that's why I know we gotta vote on it, so, do you have a motion?
What language do we want to use? Motion, because it's not a state trip, do we have to approve it as not a state trip, or do we just approve it, the club itself, how we?
The club exists.
The club
So
exists, so
you'd
all we
be-
have to
you'd
do-
I
be
need
able-
approval
you'd
every year.
approve
All we
the
have to,
tri- the-
all we
the
have to do is
trips.
approve the trips.
Are we approving donations tonight, or is there no donations right
I
now?
don't know
Bring
anything
forth?
about that. I
No.
mean,
No, that's what I mean, it's so,
No,
there's
it's
nothing to
just,
bring forth
it's
tonight,
just,
right?
it's just to do the trip.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the.
Yes, oh yeah, so I need approval first before I start to dig into what, has to happen, like,
Correct.
well,
Okay,
before I
gotcha.
start doing the work.
Correct,
All right.
which you're already doing.
Yeah, I am, but step one is this, so here I am.
We'll make it legal. Mr. Chair, motion to approve
Thank
the ski club trip.
Chair seconds. Can we do it all?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Absolutely, yes.
You're legal.
Oh, thank you.
thanks.
Hey, thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have a donation from Casio Calvino Piano. Say that 3 times fast. How much is the donation?
I think it's an electric piano.
Donation of a piano.
I believe so.
Oh,
I'm not-
okay, so who's the donation from? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
you're great.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, you can come to the podium, yeah.
So I thought this was a person.
I kind of.
It's a piano.
It's not like a baby grand or anything. It's just, it's an electric piano, the kind, you might
Yeah.
see in a bar band or whatever, just kind of, you put it on a stand. A gentleman,
Service merchandise.
yeah.
We've been
So a
to
gentleman
events.
got in touch with me and said, he bought it for his son. It's barely been played. The son's moved out and he just wanted to know if we wanted it or not. Asked our 2 music teachers to look into it, to say, is it legit? And they looked up the model on the internet. They said, yep, it's a good piano, and that they could put it to use.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Chair seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Casio Calvino Piano. Welcome to Saugus, Belmonte.
I had it as a name too.
Can't tell the difference between a man and a piano.
Approval of bills dated September 25th, 2025, in the amount of $777,237.24.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair?
Chair seconds, can we do a roll?
Yes.
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 No.
Yes. Discussion of said superintendent's contract. So I think we have this on here because Mr. Hashem took over in extremely difficult times. He came in as acting when we had some issues, and he's done a great job. I feel, and I think the board will back me, is that we've made fantastic strides. Dr. Scazzarella at the high school, middle school, athletics is, I gotta say, athletics has been the biggest it's been in years. So I think that's why we have it on here, because we are gaining momentum. Yeah, you're always gonna have problems, I mean, buses and stuff like that, but I think at the end of the day, we face those problems head on, and we try to do the right thing. So that's why it's on here. So I'll turn it over to the board, the committee.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to dive a little deeper into that. I'm going to say, first and foremost, the district has lacked steady leadership for a long time. I mean, we all know that. We've had 9 different superintendents in, 12 years or so. It's kind of difficult to achieve or sustain any type of progress with that type of vision. The vision changes constantly, so it's not conducive to learning for the teachers, for the kids, for anybody. And it really sets a bad tone. It really brings down the morale of everybody, because you never know what's going on from year to year, and where the cut's going to be made and what the direction we're going to move.
Yeah, you're starting over every year.
Yeah,
So
you stepped into a very difficult time for our district. We had pretty much 3 brand-new schools and, again, no direction. So I'm glad I wasn't on the committee at the time, because you wouldn't have been my guy. I told you that a few times. But you know what? You proved me wrong over and over, and I'm glad you did. So I'm glad I didn't have to make the decision. Since that time, you made some real difficult decisions. And, for maybe the first time ever, we have 9 brand-new administrators from the Belmonte middle school to the high school, all brand new, over the last, 2 years or so? And again, just to be clear, I'm not blaming anybody for anything that's happened in the past or anything like that. They all worked under multiple superintendents and with multiple different visions and different directions they're getting pulled in. Their roles change constantly, so it was very difficult to work under those conditions. But I'm going to say Mr. Hashem has done a lot to help to restore the morale in the district, and that's a really underrated piece of the puzzle that we're trying to achieve here. You also brought back accountability to the district, not just to your office, but district-wide for everybody. So everybody's on the same, it's not different rules for different schools, it's same rules for everybody. I'm not talking about just staff and teachers and administrators, I'm also talking about the students. As Dr. Scazzarella will tell you, I don't think they rule the roost anymore. And that was going on for a while, because, again, it makes it tough when your hands are tied sometimes, the teachers, paras, they all deserve to have, some continuity in their educational plans, and the support to make the adjustments when needed. I think you've done a great job with that. Under your watch, we've had the enrichment programs that were developed. I'm not saying that you're the only guy that did it, but you had a hand in it, along with Ms. Turbin and the other principals and stuff. So, it's a big thing for us. I'm sure there's things I'm forgetting to mention, but I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since we've had all the pieces of the puzzle together to really make a difference in this district. And I think now that we have the pieces, I think that Mr. Hashem gets a chance to see if it's going to work, and I think it will. Because I see it with my own kids when they come home from school and they talk about their day. It's a lot different than the past years listening to their days, So it's back to being a learning environment, back to being I don't want to say family, but it feels like a family environment sometimes, So I think it's gone a long way. It just goes to show sometimes that, when you're looking for something, sometimes it could be right in front of you. And, you know, that might be the best solution sometimes. So I absolutely think that you've earned an extension.
Mr. Chair. See, we get to embarrass you now. This is the best time, this is the best part of our day. I just want to say this, you were saying earlier about the 5.5 years at the complex and how
Yep.
quickly that went by. I'm thinking back now, I've been here for 6 years, and just like all the things that have come, and half the day it's trying to improve things, the other half of the day is just trying to survive the day to get to the next day, right? And I know we went through some challenging times, and when you came on as acting superintendent, I'll just say, you know, selfishly, I was just looking to, you know, keep the wheels on and get through the next week and get through the next week. And the first thing that you did, and I wasn't really even focusing on it, with the school committee meetings, you started bringing students back in, and you started doing your newsletters. And I remember you had this newsletter you wrote about your riding a bike up a hill and falling back down or something like that. And I had people sending me messages saying, I loved the letter the superintendent wrote. It was like the first time in all these years people are writing to me to say nice things to a school committee member.
Didn't they say he was doing a wheelie down the middle of the road?
I think it was he rolling back? or
His
it was
gang
something
was
about-
taking over the street.
It was something about, you know, wind shear, I don't
The
remember,
electric bike
but.
gang with Mike Hashem leading the good.
Exactly, and it was this awesome thing where all of a sudden people were getting excited about their jobs and excited about their school, and it just brought an enthusiasm into it that wasn't what we were looking for at the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, trying to get through the week, but it was,
Look at homecoming.
yeah. It was so
You
welcome,
know?
yeah. But yeah,
Practice
so,
goes well.
you know,
Homecoming.
and all the things too, like the things people don't see, like we've been involved in collective bargaining for most of the year, so we have lots of meetings with each other. I'm constantly calling you because I can't remember something we talked about the other day. You've always answered the phone, you've always called back. Everything has been, let me look into this over the weekend and I'll get you an answer by Monday, and you call me first thing Monday morning with the answer. So I just really appreciate, because it sounds like a little thing, it's not a little thing. And as Mr. Whitridge said, sometimes you bring on someone new and it's about reinventing the wheel and how do we do this, and let's back up and let's pause, and then you lose 6 months. Everything seems to have been under your leadership. Let's just make things better. Let's bring kids into it. Let's bring enthusiasm into it, and that's something that's worth its weight in gold. So I'm echoing what they're saying, but I just really appreciate everything you brought to the job since you've been here. I always want to make them blush, and it worked.
No, I've said before that Mr. Hashem has done a wonderful job. He was put up against a lot, and I do want to comment on the addition of Mr. Blair as well, who I hear phenomenal things at the Belmonte. I do. Today, I did.
Yeah, mostly from him.
Mike is very responsive. I will echo what both of them said. Every time I've had a question, a concern, a meeting, I'm in the office either that day or the following week. I will give him credit for all of that. And I will say this too, it's very hard as a superintendent to oversee the public education as it stands right now. It's a hard job. The momentum that we have going right now is good. Could there always be improvement? Always. I just don't want to see, I want to see it keep going. That's my biggest thing. I don't want us to get comfortable and start to slack off again. We've come a long way from when my son was in school. So we're on the right track. I would love to have Mr. Hashem continue his journey with us. Yeah, I fully support an extension.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's been a lot of great things said up here already. But I just want to, highlight a couple of things, and that is, we've all said it before, Mike was brought in some tough times. And one of the things that I really feel that was most important that happened was Mike making the teachers feel welcomed again. I think that when Mike came in, our staff was on uneasy footing. They didn't know where they stood. And the pride and the culture was just in a tough place. You segue to now, and you look at and listening to the positive things that were have already been said. I've known Mr. Hashem a long time, and one of the things I think is most great is that Mike has never changed. Mike's the same person that he was, same person He is, and he's always gonna be the same thing. But one thing that hasn't been mentioned is that Mike was a great coach. And being a great coach is a good leader, and knowing how to put the right plays on the field. And as you look in the audience, you look at the addition of our new principals, the addition of our new athletic director, the collaboration with the senior administration here. Mike knows how to put a team on the field, and he's done an amazing job by giving people the tools that work with him and for him to do their jobs. And I think that's most important. The atmosphere and the culture that you see within our students, at our sporting events, at our fine arts displays, has been incredible. And I credit Mike for bringing a lot of that back. So thank you, and of course I support you.
Excellent.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, sure,
You know,
absolutely.
a few months back, when we set your goals, we had one very important one that you really followed through on. You cut down on the sweater vests, and that was huge, because we all agreed that it was time.
Yeah, oh, it's almost winter.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
They'll be back.
It's getting chilly out. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that the school committee agree to extend superintendent's contract for a period of 2 years, with the details of the contract to be worked out by the negotiating committee, which is Mr. Hatch and myself, to report back to the full committee.
Excellent.
Second?
Can we do a roll?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mrs. Serino?
Abstain.
We're not voting. We're voting for, send it to the,
Oh. Yes.
After due consideration.
What are you voting on?
we're voting to
We
send
send
it
it
to
to
the
the-
negotiation committee.
Okay,
But the contract still has to be voted on after
Yes.
the negotiation committee.
Correct.
Yeah,
thank you.
sorry. I didn't want people thinking we're just handing out contracts up there. There you go.
Okay. This is a big one, appointment of Superintendent Hashem to the SEAM Board of Directors.
Looks like knife for my
He's having a
time.
he's
Jesus.
SEAM Collaborative, it's an appointment every year, and we have to vote him to get on it, and just what he needs, more work.
I don't have a copy of my agenda.
Oh, yeah. I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Hashem to the SEAM Collaborative Board of Directors.
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
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 In case you need to be knighted.
So next, we have the first read of policy KF-RA. Sounds important. Policy governing the use of school facilities. So what we've done is, it's the tier 1B, right, Mike? Is the addition. So what we've done is we've taken the Saugus Youth Programs, which is run by the Youth and Recreation Department, as well as all approved youth sports programs, including cheerleading, youth football, youth soccer, youth basketball, travel basketball, youth wrestling, youth lacrosse, Little League baseball, Little League softball. As they take part in community programming, there will be no rental fee, but must provide a list of supervisors with the building usage form. Cleaning fees will only be charged when the facility is used outside of school hours and for events where guests will enter the building, such as games, competitions, etc. Renters are responsible for maintaining cleanliness and condition of all facilities used. Renters also responsible for upholding all school policies. Doors may not be propped open at any time. A designated individual must be stationed at the entrance door for the duration of the rental to ensure proper access and security. Failure to uphold the expectations will result in reinstatement of cleaning fees. That's correct?
That's correct.
Yep. That's the
I'm
first
sorry,
read.
nothing.
That's the first read.
Well done.
So, do we have a motion? Oh, we don't need a
don't
motion,
need
it's
a
first read.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Presentation of Velk School Improvement Plan.
Mr. Sereno?
Yeah.
Can we table that one, because he has the back-to-school night tonight, he found out about it later.
Yeah, we'll
so-
just
yeah.
move it to the next meeting.
Yep, thank you.
Presentation of the BSA School Improvement Plan by Mr. Blair.
There's a podium involved.
Yeah,
We're still-
you can send us a text.
Just a second. Dust off the scrolls here. How was everybody tonight?
Very good, thank you.
It's called vamping. You have the document before you. This was something that,
I emailed you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got it? Okay.
Yep.
And it is the continuation of the document I was given. I went through and added some things about some priorities I have, which is better communication with parents, better communication with staff, expanding professional development opportunities for them. And I guess that was the main focus that I had, but taking the document I was given and, adding my stuff. So, do you have any questions about the plan itself? Did you?
just as far as the communication with parents, is it, what are we, emailing more? Are they, do we have more parents coming in? I just,
For me, it's just, whenever I get, when I get thanks for doing something this year, hey, thank you for doing that thing. For me, it's just the bare minimum. It's the basic competence of what you want to be doing, which is communicating on a regular basis. So for me, it goes from, large-scale things like, improving. We're going from, I know we want to use Blackboard, which is one of our main platforms for emailing parents. But when I ran into a situation where I noticed that some of my emails just, I had parents saying I'm just not receiving those because of various technical things, we had to do a quick fix and go to something called Classroom Dojo. I wanted parents to know what was going on, period. So seeing that that's how it's a priority for me, that's how I'm using this plan to guide me in the decisions I'm making. I send home every Friday, so on a large scale, it's sending home my a Friday email to parents with all the coming news of the week, and then along with that is a copy of my Friday video that I make every week for students and staff, but with parents in mind as well. And I'm already hearing that parents and kids watch that together when they get home. I think that's been kind of one of the best bits of news I've had all year, is that parents are enjoying it as well. But then it also comes down to every day-to-day things. Like, when a parent calls me, I'm going to call them back immediately. And part of that is, I worked in school leadership since 2007, but the first 7 years of that were for a drug and alcohol rehabilitation facility, which was, was a nonprofit, and we had to have a customer service training, right? So part of that for me was treating every parent. I came out of that treating parents like customers. This is the business I'm running. I treat parents like a customer. What does a customer want? They want to know, number one, that you're going to get back to them immediately, that their problem is important to you, and that even if you can't help them, you burn some calories trying to solve the problem for them. So that creates goodwill in the community and makes them feel like their children are safe with you. So big picture stuff, small picture stuff, and all of it for me ties together. So communication, the big thing. The second thing that is important for me is staff development, because I have some, I'm going to be bringing some experience to the job where I want my teachers doing the very best job that they can. What's going on in the classroom to me is the number one thing we've got going right now. If you have good classroom instruction, all of the other things we talk about in schools these days, social emotional learning, teaching the whole child, trauma-informed, whatever, all of that stuff can be not fixed, but really helped with really good classroom instruction. If a kid's having a good experience in the classroom, that can be taken care of. So a large part of that is just giving staff professional development where they need it. And so I think just aside from those two things and day-to-day quality, it's all in the plan there. I did take the work that was done by my predecessor and just kind of, augmented it. So that's the school improvement plan for me.
Well, we really appreciate the communication with parents, I think, and great classroom instruction. I think you hit on a lot of things that really make me excited and happy to have you here.
I really appreciate what you've done for parents, what you've done for for making them feel better, because it's been a little bit difficult, and I applaud you for being that advocate for that classroom atmosphere.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence, what's going on there.
I'm only a month in.
No, I do like the communication piece. I get the class dojo, and it's wicked informative, so
Right.
if you're a parent on that, you'll get every bit of information that's out there, so it's
Yeah,
good.
we had a couple of I wouldn't say skeptical, but with a staff that size, you're gonna have a couple teachers that aren't on board with it yet. They're on board with it now. So I want everybody having the same message, like you've mentioned, same messages for everybody, same accountability. So I want everybody knowing what's going on.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I heard some great things today, especially because I talked to the parents, I talked to the teachers, I talked to kind of all over the place in Saugus, but I did hear your rule of no yelling. This is a no yelling zone.
First thing I told them.
Yeah. I
Those
very-
teachers or the students?
I was
Well,
Yes.
both.
We should try that up here for like.
No, I was
Whoa,
very impressed.
whoa.
I was very impressed, and I hear the drop off and the pickup has been, this is a hard building you're never gonna be able to fully master it, or maybe you will, but I've heard wonderful, wonderful things about you, so thank you very much. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Mr.
everything. You
Blair.
made a big impact. It's been a month.
Thank you. Good? What? Good.
Next, we have the presentation of SMA.
You might want to vote on that, because you have to.
Oh, we have to vote on it. Wow, just rushing through things
Mr.
today.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to adopt the Belmonte School Improvement Plan.
Chair seconds, can we do a roll?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mr. Witchett?
Yes.
Mr. Sereno?
Yes. So moving on to the Saugus Middle High School School Improvement Plan, we have Dr. Scazzarella here.
Okay, I'm sure I'll be fine. I apologize because I think when you got it, it may have said 24, 25 in parentheses at the top, even though the rest of it said 25, 26.
Sorry.
When I was hunting for it, I don't know, there are two copies of 24, 25, but one of them really is this.
It's in my 25, 26 folder, so.
Yeah. You'll see ours has the word continue in there a lot, because I really feel that we made good strides last year, but we still have more work to do. I didn't want to change too many things up. I went with the district improvement plan and incorporated some of that, but I stuck with my areas of focus, which was making sure we had the standards aligned consistently, high quality instruction happening, the enrichment program continuing to support that. The safe and supported environment really, for me, came from students learning to self-discipline themselves, and that we're a serious place and serious things happen in the building, and they need to be serious while they're at high school and middle school. Also, trying to develop a good work culture amongst the staff, and I think we're well on our way to all of those. I took some of the things out from underneath the curriculum and really focused in on what we have in place for this year to expand on it. The Wit and Wisdom, the Carnegie Math, the Open SciAd, the high school civics, the Common Lit, and the EL curriculum. That was very high quality, that we're working very hard to implement. And there's some struggles there, because We're trying to work with kids who are at all varying levels of their comprehension of English and keep them moving along. And there's a lot of challenges. So that was a really big one, to continue to support that excellent curriculum. And middle school curriculum, Mr. Serino is now implementing the wellness curriculum, 6 through 12, so we're really working hard and making sure that's valuable time, and that students are not just going through the motions, but taking their well-being seriously, and how to pursue activities that you don't have to be an athlete to do. But these are things they can keep up with the rest of their life, knowing about good nutrition, knowing about the dangers of risky behavior, all of that is included. I've been working a lot on communication. A big thing that was a goal of mine was to open the parent portal for Aspen X2, so that the parents 6 through 12 now have access if they choose. We emailed everybody a username and password, and we encouraged them to do it, and I think many of them have taken advantage of it. I haven't checked the percentage lately, but it was high about 3 weeks ago. So they now have access live to their students' academics, their discipline that could potentially be in there, and their attendance. And that's been a giant help for promoting better attendance. When the parent can see that the student is tardy, and I know students are getting texts from their parents because they're running down to the office saying, I don't know why I marked absent. And we're trying to get everything corrected because their parents can see. So that was one big way for communication for us. I've been trying to send a Sunday night email to parents with major information that I need them to know. I'm doing the same thing with the staff, trying to be much more consistent. I never was really good at the newsletter type thing. So I'm trying to channel myself into emails and, you know, just communicate one time with a lot of information in it, and then if parents have questions, they email me back, I respond, et cetera. And same with staff, although I do talk to the staff much more frequently than just the email I try to send out on Friday or Monday morning. You know, we hosted an 8th grade parent night last year. You know, low attendance, but I think a lot of people look at it and say, my child is in the 8th grade, they're just walking across a corridor. But I think we had a good number of parents who were trying to make a decision about where else they might send their child. We had a really successful 5th grade parent night where we talked about the curriculum, talked about our academic program, and that was very well attended. And so I plan to continue those 2 evenings of communication with parents. I think it's important. And the enrichment programs chugging along. The middle school side of the building is so busy every day with kids enjoying the activities, you know, from the book clubs to the homework club to the chess club that meets, the there's a walking group for the girls. There's a lot of great things going on where there's community being built. And that's really important. I'm working hard for a 6 through 12 building. So that's why homecoming isn't just about 9 through 12. The 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are included. Everybody, we've got dress-up days, you know, that the whole building will participate in. So we're trying to do more. I have 8th graders in 9th grade foreign language classes. I have some 7th graders, high achievers in AutoCAD with honors juniors. The band and chorus, of course, have 8th graders in with them now. So we're really trying to integrate and make it a real positive 6 through 12 atmosphere and a learning experience for everyone. So I just continued what we were doing because I think we've, as I said at the beginning, we've made good progress. I wouldn't say we're done, you know, and I don't know when you're ever finished. There's always things to improve on. So I thought another year of dedication to these focuses that we put forth last year should have us in a really good spot by June of 2026, looking ahead at, you know, maybe some keep in the background like we do as a district, but bring some new things to the forefront. So I'm happy to answer any questions or thoughts, if anybody has anything they want you to know.
I just want to say thank you. The transformation from that building is night and day, and I really attribute it to you and your staff and everything you've done up there. I really, I mean it, I couldn't thank you enough, so.
What he said.
Yeah, and what you said about the positive progress, we know it's not gonna stop there. Once it's positive, it's gonna keep moving in that positive direction, and that you really brought that back, so it's good.
Hope so.
Yeah.
It's a good, the town spent a lot of money on giving the kids a state-of-the-art place to learn. Now we have to pull everything else along.
I actually, I saw Mr. Fontanelli's not here, but he actually smiled today, so I know that things are going well. That's a good sign right there.
Well, we're just as a little, if you want to enjoy something really funny, on Monday at 2 o'clock, we're going to have a teacher administrator inflatable race for our students to kick off homecoming week, and there are 12 teachers participating along with 4 administrators.
Wow.
So,
I keep seeing that, what does that mean? What's it?
those giant inflatable costumes.
Oh, yeah.
We got about 16 people going to be in a race
Ah,
in the inflatables.
Okay.
what could go wrong with that?
It's adults though, so if something goes wrong, we're not in
Like an
trouble.
ambulance standing?
But, the fact that 12 teachers agreed to participate
Yeah.
is huge, and people seem genuinely excited about bringing back some of the fun along with the learning.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
If you want
That's
something to
exciting.
laugh at, we'll try to get a video.
Yeah.
We'll have to show it at the next meeting.
I'll have them all come in the costume.
If you can do a blooper reel also, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know how many of us are gonna, make it across the finish line. We'll see.
Good stuff. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now we'll, the tough.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve the Saugus Middle High School improvement plan.
What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I got a list.
Chair seconds, can we do a roll?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mr. Chacolo?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mrs. Sereno?
Yes.
Why do we have no school improvement plans?
Approval of school committee meeting minutes for September 11th, 2025, executive session.
Motion to approve.
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Approval of school committee meeting minutes for September 11th, 2025, open session.
Motion to approve.
Chair seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Now moving on to public comment. Just state your name and address.
Hi, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Nancy Franks. I'm the 6th grade adjustment counselor at Saugus Middle School. And this is my 24th year as a school counselor in Saugus. So I wanted to come here tonight, not only to address the school committee, because I know obviously you're all very pro everything we can do for the students, but hopefully financial committee, town meeting members, community members, parents will hear some of the things I have to say. And I feel like a buzzkill because we are making a lot of progress, but these are some important things I wanted to share. For as long as I have worked here, we have never had enough counselors to meet the needs of all students. At all levels, there has always been a shortage of counselors. That being said, I have had the pleasure of working with many counselors throughout the district who work hard and go above and beyond to make sure that as many students as possible receive the attention, compassion, and time needed to support their academic and social emotional needs. Unfortunately, with the cuts in June, we not only have significantly less teachers than needed to offer the quality of education that Saugus students deserve, but we also lost 3 counselors, which may not sound like a lot, but district-wide we only had 14, and now we only have 11 for about 2,700 students. At the middle school, we took the responsibilities previously divided among 4 counselors and consolidated them to 3 counselors. Again, while that may not sound like a lot, we are each doing not only more tasks, but a larger variety of tasks, which are time-consuming, and that challenge comes at the expense of time meeting with students. Considering youth in America and a mental health epidemic, this is not the time to be cutting counselors. According to the most recent Youth Risk Behavior Survey given in Saugus, reports of bullying at the high school were higher at 14% than the state average of 11%. In the middle school, 35% of the students reported feeling bullied and 17% reported experiencing cyberbullying. While vaping and alcohol use among high school students has decreased, both increased among middle school aged students, and some reported having started vaping as young as 10 years old. Worldwide, the use of social media has been linked to anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and other mental health issues. According to the CDC, as many as 20% of adolescents report symptoms of anxiety, and as many as 40% report persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. For me personally, the cuts in June were a significant loss. The guidance department that I spent 23 years building was abolished. The middle school lost the guidance clerk position, and both guidance positions were eliminated. Our clerk was moved to the VELC. Mrs. Monroe, who was a Saugus school counselor for 8 years, was let go, and I was moved to a school adjustment counselor position. A whole new model of counseling at the middle school emerged, which unfortunately means less time available to meet with all students. This is the reality of budget cuts. I am part of a great team, and we are working hard to make this challenging new model work. The truth is, for much of my career in Saugus, I have been watching faculty and staff in all departments try to make it work, or make the best of it with what little we have. Conserve paper, share supplies, run after school clubs unpaid, volunteer to chaperone at dances unpaid, go on the Washington, D.C. trip and keep kids safe for several days and nights with no additional pay. Stay late and come in early with no overtime pay. Plan free assemblies because we can't afford any that cost money. Positions have been cut and never brought back. Entire departments have been eliminated, all while educators are often pulling from our own wallets to provide better for the children of Saugus. When will it end? In Massachusetts, well-funded district with similar number of students to Saugus have between $5 and $20 million more per year in their school budgets than we do. Let that number sink in, from $5 to $20 million more for their students every year. Those are the districts with consistently high MCAS scores that offer things like no user fees, no bus fees, adequate transportation, better technology, and greater class offerings. Smaller class sizes, a variety of sports and clubs bigger than what we have. They have more support to help students excel in reading and math in the elementary levels. They have school resource officers. They have foreign language. Saugus has foreign language only at the high school level. Other communities start foreign language as early as 3rd grade. Those districts are well funded and people want to live there, so the property values soar. If you want to research this, look at the profiles of towns like Bedford, Weston, North Reading, and Wayland. Each has a similar number of students to Saugus, but Saugus's budget is between $6.5 million and $18 million less per year. Meanwhile, Linfield has a similar budget to Saugus with roughly the same number of students, and they have significantly higher ranked schools. So what are they doing differently? Saugus can do better in all areas. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Simply look at nearby towns with higher ranked school districts and emulate them. From experience, I can tell you with confidence that the administrators, faculty, and support staff that I work with in Saugus do a far better job of supporting students than many other districts, despite our consistently low budget. But at what cost? Complete burnout of staff, educators who feel underappreciated and overworked, students in large classes or with multiple directed studies in their schedules. I'm proud of the work I've done in my 24 years in Saugus. I have met many wonderful families, been part of community events, and taken the initiative to run clubs and activities, usually without pay. As I enter the final quarter of my career as a Saugus educator, I would really like to see this community step up to the plate and make Saugus such a wonderful place to go to school that no one wants to send their children to private school, because they will know that Saugus public schools are truly the best choice for their children.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Moving on, we're recessing to executive session for the purpose of negotiations, and not returning. It'll be the superintendent, the board, and Sue, Betty, Sue.
Sue,
So,
Ms. McBride.
motion,
Motion to approve, it's gonna be a roll.
roll.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mrs. Mastrocola?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Yes.